Hi to my astrology interested friends. I just wanted to come on for a moment and talk about Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is an increasingly popular point to talk about in astrology. I just wanted to explain a little bit about what it is. Because Black Moon Lilith is not a physical body in the sky, it's not an object like an asteroid or a planet. It's a mathematical point in the sky that has to do with the orbit of the moon and its distance from the Earth. So the moon is sometimes a little bit closer to the Earth and sometimes a little farther away. And when it's at its farthest point from the Earth, each orbit, that's the Black Moon Lilith point. And that's not always at the same point, so that moves around through the zodiac signs just like the planets do. So this is known as apogee when the moon is farthest away from the Earth. It's apogee. When it is closest to the Earth, it's perigee. When you hear about a supermoon, it's when we're having a full moon that is close to the opposite. So it's closest to Earth in its orbit. So it looks really big. And the opposite of that would be a micromoon when it is close to the Black Moon Lilith point and farthest away from the Earth. So it looks up to 30% smaller than it does through the rest of its orbit, and it's moving a little slower in our perception, and so it takes a little longer to get through the sign that it's in, and it is moving slower, farther away, and this is why it is associated with Lilith. Lilith is a figure from Hebrew mythology who was cast out of the garden. She was rejected by Adam, the first man, because she didn't want to do what he said. So she's cast out. So the moon at this point, when it's farthest away from the Earth, the garden, is associated with the feelings that come up when we're feeling rejected or betrayed. And therefore, the Black Moon Lilith point can tell us a little bit about our woundedness, a sense of being rejected, a sense of being cast out, or what we do, how we feel when we've been rejected or cast out. Sometimes that's spite, sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's pettiness and revenge, sometimes it is finding empowerment, because when we get rejected, we learn that we have to depend on ourselves for validation and comfort, security. We can't rely on other people for that. We have to find it within ourselves. So that's part of the mystery of Black Moon Lilith, is this point of like, yes, I've been rejected by whatever. I've been cast out. I've been harmed in some way for not conforming, but through that process, I'm going to then find my own power, find my own inner light. Even when the moon is farthest away from the Earth, it still reflects sunlight, it still influences the tides, it still has an impact on us. So when you are interpreting your Black Moon Lilith point, it is important to interpret it in conjunction with your moon sign or with the moon in the chart that you're looking at. You don't want to just interpret it by itself. By itself, it's just an empty spot in the sky, right? You want to look at the moon, because the Black Moon Lilith point tells you about the speed of the moon. Is the moon close to the Black Moon Lilith point? That means it was far away and it's moving slow. Is it on the opposite side of the chart from the Black Moon Lilith point? That means it is moving faster and it's closer and looks bigger. And it's being like welcomed and celebrated, and the opposite of being rejected, right? And then the like midway point between the opposition or the Black Moon Lilith point is kind of like the in-between. Is it moving towards Black Moon Lilith, or is it moving away from Black Moon Lilith, right? So this kind of like the Black Moon Lilith point is really powerful to look at, but look at it to help you deepen your interpretation of the moon. And when you do that, you're going to get a deeper, more profound understanding of the moon in the chart, as well as a more relevant interpretation of that Black Moon Lilith point. It is something to be combined with and interpreted with the moon sign.